Hello. Today we are going to answer a question, and it is, why are adults much better learners than children? Why? Because when the kids start learning, they start learning a, a code, a code of communication. Doesn't matter what people they have around, they start learning and understanding that they need to understand. They need to use the same language that adults are learning, and they need to use it in the same way. So they are going to communicate with others. But when you are an adult, you are not looking for a code of communication in the same way. You know that you already have one language. For the kid, it's one language. So even if you are teaching the kid Spanish, English, French, because they have like 3 or 4 people speaking different language, for them, they think like they don't analyze. They just speak. They just try to get to repeat in the way that they speak. If they learn some words in Spanish and some words in English or some words in French, and they get corrected about the way that they move their muscles or the sounds, or they think like other words. But when they are kids, they don't understand why. So with this person, I'm going to speak like this. No, that's come naturally. But what about when you are an adult? When you are an adult and you have been for your life, for 30 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, speaking one language, you know exactly how your muscles works. So when you get a new one, you need to relearn. So you need to use the code that you already have and analyze with the new code, and you can understand better. Listen this. If I tell you chair, if you tell one kid chair, silla, banca, so the kid is just, you need to show them, you need to sit them, you need to uh, use more kinesthetic, and it's just like you are going to take all your senses to teach them. But if you are an adult, if I tell you chair and I tell you in Spanish silla, so if you know silla, for you will be easier, for you will be faster for you to understand. You don't need to have the process that the kid has. But also, I'm going to speak in the book that I wrote, that is called Simple English, a matter of method, not about the time. So in this book, I'm going to speak about, in the chapter number 5, I speak about the brain, the human brain. Why? Because when you are an adult, you need to understand the process. Remember, I told you that when you are an adult, you analyze more. So when you're an adult, you just need to transfer. Sometimes you have words that are very similar in both languages, and you said, okay, now I know that I have more vocabulary, so I can use more. So usually, you know more than the thing that you think. Like you think like you don't know, you don't have enough vocabulary, but sometimes you do have. The thing is like you didn't know, you didn't recognize the word, but when you are reading, when you are speaking, and then you figure, oh, I know that word. So that's the way that you enrich your vocabulary. But speaking about differences between children and adults when they are learning, and I'm going to speak about in the book, in the chapter 5, if you have the book, just check there. So, immersion and environment. Children spend their entire day in school, immersed in an English speaking environment, constantly engaging with the language. Yes, the kids, you send the kid to the school, and they are over there 8 hours, 9 hours, and they get the language easier. Why? Because it's not an option for them. But what happened when you are speaking about adults, that sometimes they go and they take classes. But when they take classes, it's just 1 hour or 2 hours. And if they have a break, so they go outside and they try to communicate in their own language. Why? Because they try to communicate their feelings. How did they feel? how was their day. So remember, the kid, because they were at school, they were with other kids, they just need to communicate. If you are an adult and you try to use the new language more than 8 hours, I'm pretty sure that you are going to learn fast, and I'm going to tell you why. While children are exposed to English daily, adults might only engage with the language then when it fits into their schedule. Yes. So the adults think, okay, I have a class, so I'm going 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 days per week. No. What about if you try to immerse? Language acquisition is when you go and you try to absorb everything that you have. In the book, also, I have a chapter when I show you different resources that you can take. Like if you are on the streets, so you can see many names of the streets in every country, in every city, in every part of the world. You see name of or numbers or name of the stores, so that you can start recognizing the new code. But this is a topic for another day. We are talking about the difference between how the children learn and how the adults learn. The next one is when we are speaking about practice and learning approach. Children practice English naturally. How? Through homework and daily interaction. But adults, they need to do intentionally. They intentionally seek our practice opportunities. So they think, okay, I'm going to have this group, but it's like specific. It's not like during the day, and that's something that we need to try to be involved in activities that that we can participate and we can use our English. I know in the beginning will be difficult and we have fear, but we are going to speak about also that. Children approach learning with curiosity and enthusiasm, viewing language acquisition as an adventure, whereas adults might learn with caution, focusing on the end goal rather than enjoying the process. Yes, when you see a kid, they create, they create also their word. They fake, and sometimes if they don't know one word, they just change, or they and you said, oh, what are you saying? But they are enjoying, and then they laugh, and laugh. It's important also here when adults are focusing in the result, like people see you that you are speaking very clear and no mistakes. So for kids, mistakes are fun. They laugh about that, and then they don't get resentment because someone laugh about that. They don't say, okay, that person. No, they don't care. They just go with the flow. Risk taking and confidence. Okay, this is a good one. Children are more willing to take linguistic risk and make mistakes. Yes, they don't care. They don't care. We were talking about this. They just they think like this is the part of the language learning. So it's like when they are biking, when they start biking, yeah, they are scared that they don't want to fail, but they know that it's part of the process, and again and again and again, and that's the way that we build confidence. The other side, unfortunately, adults, we have more fears. We really don't want to confront these fears. We think like success, we need to go and be the best one, just without fail, without making mistake. And no, unfortunately, that's part of the process. Mm, the fear of making mistake, of being judged, is less prevalent in children. They don't care. I said adults, however, may remain detached and overly focused on corrections. Adults usually we don't like people correct us, because we feel like when someone correct us is because they are judging us. So it's like adults, children, they don't have ego. They don't care about that. They don't understand what is that. Adults, uh, they try to avoid that. Think people think like they have a big ego, but yes, when we confront situation that we don't like, that that we don't like because people cannot see us perfect. So that's creating a big problem sometimes, and a big barrier to progress. Engagement and application. Children language learning is reinforced through varied activities like sports and social interaction, helping them apply the language in diverse contexts. Adults tend to restrict their language use to classroom setting or specific study times. Yes, so we are more selective. The kids no, the kids can go and speak in every environment, even if the kid goes and they are with adults, even if the adults are speaking different topics, sometimes the kids, because they have curiosity, they try to ask questions, because if they get engaged in the conversation, they, oh, what are you talking about? Remember, people usually said, oh, don't speak in front of the kids, because they absorb everything, but they absorb because they have curiosity, because when they are engaged, they want to learn more. They don't they they don't ignore stuff. They are just like, they are discovering, and that's the beauty on kids. So if you learn as a kid, like, oh my goodness, I want to learn more about this, even if that's not my topic, I can do something. And I'm going to tell you, when I came to the United States, I started coming to the mass, English mass, and I didn't understand everything. In the beginning, I didn't understand anything about the priest was talking. But I was just listening, and at some point, I was starting how, if I learned some words, so I was just focusing in that words when he was talking, and sometimes I was just repeating, like mimicking, like obviously not loud. And my husband looked at me and he said, "What are you doing?" And I was just, no, 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 because I was focused on that. Even if I didn't understand, I couldn't understand if I if I was not learning beside vocabulary. I could sit there for hours. But if I just listening, I couldn't understand that. You don't improve because you listen. You improve because you listen, and then you read, or mm, you speak with someone and someone give you that vocabulary. In that case, you take that vocabulary, and next time when someone is speaking, you can understand, because now you have something, you can attach the word to something. It's not about, some people said, you just need to listen, listen, listen. But if you listen and you don't understand, it's just noise. And that will make you it's more difficult to learn the new language, because you need to start understanding. You need to start relating words that you said, oh, they are speaking about this. And then you get engaged. If not, that will be a very boring situation. Play, interaction, and even casual conversation, children integrate new language skills. Yes. If you want to learn a new language, try to go to different conversations, try to play sports. Also, if you are moving, if you feel emotion, you are going to learn better, more. So that's better. Or if you want just to play cards, if you want to go and meet people and meet or do different activities, that will be very beneficial for your new language learner. Adaptability and creativity. The ability to quickly adapt to new linguistic nuances is inherent in children. They want to learn. They adapt easily. Usually, if you get to places that you don't like, what do you try to do? Avoid. You try to, one step back, and I'm not going there. So next time, if someone invites you, you say, no, no, I don't want to go. Why? Because you try to avoid. You don't not try to confront. You don't try to adapt yourself. And what the kids needs to do, adapt wherever they go. If they need to behave in a good way in the church, so they are going to do that. If they know that is a place that they can just jump and do different stuff, they are going to do it. So they have the ability to adapt. What about you? So just try to adapt yourself to the new environment, and create more pattern, create more things that you said, okay, I'm going to do this. And if I do this regularly, if I practice regularly the same, I'm going to create some pattern. If every day I speak with my family in the new language, in the beginning will be weird for them. In the beginning will be a little uncomfortable, but then will be easier. And then everybody, okay, nobody's going to pay attention to that. Everybody has many things to pay attention to different stuff. So do you think they are going to take care of you like, okay, he's doing this, she's doing that? No, they have many problems, many things, many challenges in their life. So it's different things with you. You are the sometimes when you have a big ego, you think like you are the center of attention. And yes, you are the center of attention of yourself. So if you see in the mirror yourself, you can see many details, and usually bad details. But if you see another person, you sometimes then you see, okay, what was their hair, what was the color, where was did they have something here, did they have a mark? But you don't know because you didn't pay attention to detail. But when he's speaking about you, you want everything perfect, and you know every detail of your face, and you want everybody to see the perfection of you. Feedback and reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, like applauses, boosts children's confidence and reinforces their language use, while adults might not seek or receive such feedback, potentially missing out on motivational boost. When you have a kid and he's learning to walk, what do you do? Good job! And do you know how many times he went down again to the floor? Many times, but you don't focus on that. And what about when you have people that they make mistakes? So what do? You just, oh no. And sometimes, and this is important, sometimes you go and you start speaking with others, and even if the other person haven't learned a new language, they said, oh no, you are not going to get there. So don't worry, you are an adult, we are old, we are not going to learn. He's talking about his fears, his experience. He's not talking about you. Why? Think about like you want to compete with you lifting weight or in a marathon. Okay, if you tell someone in your house, hey, I'm going to run a marathon in 6 months, probably they are going to tell you, you cannot do that. It's very difficult. So they are going to give you many excuses and many things that they instead of telling you, yes, good, go, they are going to tell you no. Why? Because they haven't do that. But if you tell one person that he run at least 1 or 2 or 3 marathons, they are going to tell you, yes, I'm going to help you. Do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. Why? So, but you believe the story of whom? Of the ones that already did it, or the ones that you have that they didn't achieve that they didn't care about that. So usually you said, yeah, everybody's telling me that I cannot do that. You also can find your own feedback. So in the book, I have one chapter that I speak about, like every time that you practice, do your daily practice of the new language, take the calendar and start marking across. Good job. I did it today, tomorrow. And at the end of the month, check. You are going to see a change. And that's a small reward. And you said, good. And also, if you miss some days, you're going to feel, oh my goodness, I'm not doing, I broke my chain. So, and you feel bad, but you're going to be aware of that. And if you get then next days, 3 days, 4 days, the chain complete, a complete chain for 3 days or for 5 days, you said, good, I'm going in the good way. And what is the best way that you progress? When you see positive things, when you see rewards, when you see prize, when you said, I did it. So I'm going for the next one. Why people gambling? So because they won 1 time, 2 times, and they think like they can win more times, and they go play. So, but in this case, you are going to do something positive for your brain, something positive for your life, for the people around you. So you are going to grow. Every time that you speak a new language, you are going to grow. And the last one, I know that I have many things. Children resilience in learning helps them quickly bounce back from errors, a trait that adults can sometimes lose, letting mistakes undermine their confidence and progression. Children have resilience, even if they don't have idea what is resilience. They do it, do it, do it, do it. Sometimes they do it when nobody's watching them, but sometimes you do and you want everybody to know. So the day that you don't do that, or the day that you are making a mistake, so you have people telling you, you know, it's dumb, you can't. So in this case, you need to be resilient. You need to do it and do it and do it and do it. And that's for today. I really wanted to talk about this, especially because right now I'm doing the translation of the book. I'm posting this book in English, and so the English version will come soon. And I don't know when are you going to see this video, but I think this it's a really good way to learn a new language. It's like sometimes you only need your desire. You need When you have fear, the only way that you can break your fears, it's when you have love. When you have too much passion to do something, you can get rid of fears. Because remember, we have two kind of fear. One is when you are in danger. When you are in danger, in real danger, when you have a tiger in front of you, when you have a big dog in front of you that is coming, it's a real fear that you need to go and run. But sometimes you have a fear that you are creating here because of your insecurities, because you're scared, because you want perfection. And no, this week I was posting something, I was reading something about like Dr. Rhonda Patrick. She was talking about the when she goes to the lab doing a research, you have many pipes there, and you know that sometimes even if you have 20 pipes there, probably all are wrong, all are going to give you bad or wrong results. Just only one. But once you get to that one, you are going to get more rewards and you are going to achieve more things. And that's the goal. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.